Like many out there, I hold Ocarina of Time near and dear to my heart. It was the game I grew up with, and it is the game that has influenced me the most. But it scared the hell out of me when I first played it. By the way, this will be full of random spoilers, so if you don't want that, you gotta click off the video. Quick, too late. You see, my mom bought a Nintendo 64 back then. That was our first real gaming console, and I was watching her play and I loved it. She managed to defeat the first boss. Obviously, I was completely hyped on what I had seen, all the adventures that happened on screen, the giant talking tree, fighting spiders. I was super excited, and there was no way I would fall asleep anytime soon. My mom was still playing in the living room, and I was listening to the sounds and creating my own visuals. Obviously, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what a Hyrule field looked like. Didn't even know that a Hyrule field existed. But at one point, my mom seemed to reach Hyrule Castle and explored it. And she then stumbled into the Temple of Time. And that was actually quite unsettling. You see, when you have no visuals and you hear the soundtrack of the Temple of Time, it is really strange. But it was certainly not the only time I got kinda scared back then. A few days later, I was finally allowed to make my own save game and start my adventure. At one point, I reached the second big boss, King Dodongo. And if you haven't played Ocarina of Time, this is how he looks. And to get to him, you need to jump down this little hole. Now, I'd already seen my mom jump down there and fight him on her save game. So I knew exactly what was coming. For some reason, I was really scared. I was circling that hole, trying to see the giant dinosaur stomping around down there. Maybe I would be able to shoot at him with my slingshot from the safety up there. Of course, now I know how video games work and that my plan was totally not possible. But back then, I really thought I could just, chicken out. Now, you might say that those are not really scary moments. Don't worry, it's coming. That damn scream still sends shivers down my spine. You see, at some point you have to go down into that royal tomb, and there they stand. Those damn zombies. I think they're called Redads. They just stand there and they don't attack. But the moment you start walking into the line of sight, not only is that such a scary sound, it also makes you freeze in game and the camera turns towards this zombie and it makes you watch how it slowly walks towards you while you can't move. But there's another thing. Alright, so I'll build towards it and you see if you can guess what it will be. So after you defeat your first 3 main bosses, there's this big story shift and you get sent to the forest temple. The temple is already quite creepy. It is dark, there are ghosts that you need to find. It suddenly feels more grown up. Anyway, you make your way through the temple, defeat all the stuff, solve all the puzzles, run into a room, ignore Navi's comment about watching the shadows, jump across that little gap, and what the actual hell was that? That goddamn hand has scared me so much. I was put back at the entrance of the room, sat there in shock, goosebumps all over me. I was a goosebump. I had to just turn it off. This experience scared me so much that I had to stop playing for a while. And even later, when I came back to the game and created a new save, I was dreading that enemy. Of course, by then I was older and I realized it wasn't that big of a deal. But damn, that actually left a scar. Anyway, that's just a few moments of Ocarina of Time being the best and scariest game for me. I really hope you enjoyed this story of my suffering and, well, until next time. Bye bye.